Hello everybody, and welcome to my little clutter room in my corner of the creational matrix. Creation is basically a simulator that generates experience by the utilizing of the unique features of the 5 body vehicles activated through free will. The activation of the vehicles, the thoughts, emotions, anything that is other than the state of being isness, which is our real standing with the is state, will be the causes that affect the experiences we then have. All the experiences necessary for a realization of what the is not, then through a gradual recognition of the is, through our process of becoming more aware, we then have our comparisons. As the only way to be with the is through a recognition of it, and until we stand with it completely, we are not with it, and it is invisible to us from the perspective of the literal created self and body vehicles in creation. The creational simulator is based on free will activation of experience through cause and effect. Everything created we term ideas, and what makes us experience the effects of any idea in creation, be it ours or others, is the agreement to them. The ideas of others may feature in our experience. We always will be brushing up against the creations of others, for the world we collectively share is the world we have forged collectively through our collective agreement to ideas in lives past, or we wouldn't be here. You can't have an experience unless you have agreed to the idea that the experience stems from. Despite this, through awareness, we can now stand in the new nowness of the is, and by doing so, we can say we are standing real, and effectively standing in a little bubble of isness within the creational simulator, and like the is, which has no cause and effect, standing in this decided position, we no longer are subject to the cause and effect principle of creation. And so experiences that stem from those we have helped to collectively forge from previous lifetimes of agreement, largely unconscious, we can walk around now and agree with no longer. It seems that as the idea of time, which is simply cause and effect, which moves experience individually and collectively along, as the idea of time passes by, the agreement to distorted ideas have become more so. This then is reflected in our collective experience. If the idea is based on control, suppression, and awareness restriction, then agreement to this will have the collective experience resembling the initial idea, and we see this very demonstrably in the world today. And the very night sky as a blackness, which at one time was never as black as it is now, for once it was littered with more stars, more colour. But as with everything in our experience now, it is a reflection of the agreement to ideas of control and restriction, and the quantity of black holes increasing is no coincidence either. All the restriction stemming from the Callum God on the fourth life level, and executed by his endless minions, reptilians and the like, none of which, including the Callum, understand how they are plunging creation into a void of darkness and inevitable destruction, which will include them also. For yes, the destruction of creation is all-inclusive. All 5 levels will be in a demise, for the vehicles we use as part of the engine that drives creation into dust through agreement feature on each of the 5 levels. The emotion of the astral, the maintained agreement through the causal, the idea and thoughts of the mental, and the programming of the subconscious of the ethereal. For all the body vehicles are in fact one, all rolled into the personal self, as is all the creational levels, they are all one. And only as we are not in the being-isness of our real state do we perceive each of them as separate. Our real selves will view from a place where there is no separation, as it is, and so everything is incorporated. There can be nothing outside, or beyond, or somewhere else in relation to where we stand. So agreement to ideas of destruction will incorporate the entirety of the created self, and all of the creational matrix it is a part of. Another interesting aspect of control is that of laws, how any law, regardless of its nature, be it good or bad, represents a restriction. For like anything in creation, a law is an idea, and if agreed to, we will be restricted by whatever the idea implies. Any law, by its definition, is placing a limitation on something, and if agreed to, we then are subject to the cause and effect that stems from the agreement, and our experience reflects whatever the imposition might be. Laws may well be needed for the unaware, according to the nature of their attitudes and their created consciousness. But as we become more so aware, we are more aligned with the qualities required to be in such a continued state of ease recognition, purity and sincerity, or we fall too much into the personal self, and our awareness process halted or curtailed. Laws, then, would not be needed for those on their process of awareness quite as much, and agreement to the laws, then, would be, in essence, agreement to ideas, and cause and effect tap-lining restriction resultingly. Adding to the tap-lines, the individual is in the process of removing. And besides, cause and effect will afford the experience in accordance with the decided upon action. Those acting in abusive ways that we may feel that laws are needed for can expect cause and effect experiences that reflect the nature of their creation. And also, all the laws are for the slaves only. The controllers are beyond the laws that they distribute. They know full well all laws created act as endless binding tap-lines, and the atrocities that the controllers are responsible for are far and beyond anything the average human slave may commit. So, I thank you all for joining me today, and I will finish with the New You song. New You.